Hey, I'm all right. How about you?
Good,
How's
good,
it going?
good. Thank you for being on the show for the 9 year anniversary. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Happy anniversary.
Much love, much love. I hope you are safe, healthy, and everything. You feeling good, health wise?
Yeah, I'm feeling great. Yeah, my state's been hit hard, but as of right now, I've been, doing the best I can to stay away from everyone, and but also try and support local economy while I can. But yeah, health wise, I'm feeling great, and yeah, just ready to get back to normal life soon.
Every, I echo that. We are all hoping things will get back to at least some sort of normal, even if we have to wear a mask at this point. Cause I miss independent wrestling. I miss it. It's a drug, I guess. But understanding the circumstances, if we're gonna get back to where some sort of normal, we all gotta follow the guidelines, quarantine, staying at home. Um, Whatever happens after that, what happens. So were you able to get some wrestling shows in prior to things being shut down? What were some of the shows you were able to do?
Yeah, actually, so I took some time off last year, 2019, at the end of 2019, just to get myself back on track with life and things. But I actually came back at the end of February, and I had two shows, which was like pretty much the last weekend of February and the beginning of March. And after that, things just started going downhill. So I was fortunate to be a part of those two events, but I mean, it was pretty scary because the areas I was at, which were Queens and South Jersey, Queens actually was hit with coronavirus maybe the weekend after I was there. So it was pretty scary to hear that news, especially when I was just there. But yeah, those were the only two events I actually did for this year. So I just came back when this whole thing started. So now I'm kind of like back where I was, where, hey, I can't really do anything right now, but that's just what's happening.
That is heartbreaking, for sure.
Mm.
It's just we all starting to learn more about this pandemic and what this virus is capable of, and it's scary. Like if people don't take this seriously, more people will be affected and more people will lose their lives. So if people are not taking it seriously by now, then you better, because so many people, and I get it, man. People want to get normal, but it's not gonna happen anytime soon. So until then, you just be as safe as you can and be healthy, and that's all you can do pretty much.
Right, and it's crazy because there are people I see online who some people still think it's not serious or whatever. But also, I like to take a note that when I go out, like I'll go out driving every morning. I'll go to Starbucks drive-through just to have some type of routine in my life because, being cooped up in the house kind of like takes it out of you, takes the life out of you pretty much. So I like to give myself a little routine. But it's crazy to see how many people are still out and about, especially in New Jersey where there's so many people. I mean, every time I go to the supermarket, it's always packed. I mean, it feels like the same pretty much. But in the beginning, when the whole pandemic started, the supermarkets were so crazy packed, and everyone was just buying crazy. Like the shelves actually, I went to the supermarket the other day, and the shelves were all empty still. So it's pretty crazy to see how drastic life has changed. Life's just pretty crazy now, and it kind of makes me sad to see everyone out with all the masks. Like, sometimes I'll drive around just to see like how things are, and I've seen like in Wegmans in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, where people are literally standing out their cars 6 feet apart from each other, waiting to get inside the store. So that is real. I mean, it's just so sad and crazy to see, and I really hate seeing everyone going out with masks on. But I mean, it has to happen because, we got to keep each other safe. It's just reality.
Pretty much. It's like a lot of empty places in stores. Like the cleaning supplies are usually one that gets empty the most. Like sanitizer, hand sanitizers, some antibacterial soap, and tissues. I mean, not tissues, but toilet paper. They,
Toilet paper.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and I'm still trying to figure out why are toilet paper getting used, but that's here nor there. Uh, but yeah, it is something to take seriously, and people need to do that, and follow the guidelines. Like we, everybody wants to get back to what things are, but like I said, it's not gonna happen anytime soon. So we just have to hope for the best and get as much testing done and get the vaccine. That's the one thing I keep hearing is vaccine. Once we get that, then maybe things will go a more encouraging direction. But until then, if you ain't working, if you laid off, stay home. You know, I go outside, go for a walk, jog or whatever. If you see somebody, just keep your distance. That's the reality that we are in. Uh, and I like your name change. You used to be Jenna
Thank
Cross.
you.
Now, how do you pronounce the last name?
Juliana.
Gilliana. Got that Italian.
Juliana.
Gilliana. Okay, it's got that Italian
Yeah.
feel.
Gemma Guliana.
Yeah. So what made you decide to go with the name change?
Just figured I revamped my image a bit and kind of just go with something that's more original and more, that would be more like me. Because I'm from Italian, Ecuadorian descent, so I figure that fits more of my personal image, and I just felt like I needed to, like I said, revamp my image and just give myself a little fresh, little dazzle to my name. So that's really it. I mean, there's not much to it, to be honest with you.
I have to be honest. That may be one of the coolest names in all of wrestling, in my opinion.
Really?
I really believe so. It just speaks to the tongue. It's got that feel to it. It's like I just want to eat some spaghetti and lasagna and just yell it like Juliana, Mamma Mia.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you know where I'm thinking, right? See,
Yes.
now you know my mindset on everything. There you
Yes.
go. That's
Yes.
exactly it.
So it's one of the coolest names in wrestling. I don't care what anyone says. Anyone says
I
otherwise.
appreciate that.
Anyone says otherwise, then you're wrong. I'm just saying. Uh, so so obviously independent wrestling is at a standstill, and we are just waiting and wondering when things will get back to normal. But obviously, with all the laid offs and companies being closed, people are at home. Some are more fortunate than others getting to unemployment, and for wrestlers, they get money for going to these shows and getting the merchandise and everything. So there are some wrestlers that have merchandise, T-shirts, autographed pictures, Patreon. I don't know how you pronounce it, Patreon, and some other options out there for you. How can people continue to support independent wrestlers like yourselves during this paradigm? What can people do?
Wow, that's a great question. So I would just like to put out that aside from being a wrestler, I was also a trucking dispatcher. And it's crazy because due to the economy, I've been seeing a decline in that industry. And so when I see a decline in freight shipment, which freight shipment goes everywhere. So freight goes, to the supermarkets, to from warehouse to anywhere. any product, anything that you could think of. I was in the industry for 6 years. I literally, the one job I had for 6 years, I lost in the middle of last year, and I just saw a decline there. And then I got another job, fortunately, very soon after, and then I lost that job in 6 months. So from 6 years to 6 months, I mean, it's devastating to lose your job and to do something that you're good at. It was devastating. So from December on, I just saw a decline in the economy. So with this whole thing hitting, it just makes it absolutely it's just going to spiral out of control for a downfall for a lot of people and businesses. So you got to think of that aspect. Mm-hmm. But as for independent wrestling, I was depending on those bookings and, going to shows and selling merch, as you mentioned. So now that that's not happening, but I'm fortunate enough to be on unemployment, which, I worked for years to be on. So that's very fortunate on my end. But for wrestling, I have 8x10s for sale. I'm working on new shirt designs that hopefully could come out soon. So while I'm not able to do shows physically and be there physically and see the fans, I can sell stuff online. So I have 8x10s for sale, and I will be working on getting some shirts, hopefully on Pro Wrestling Tees soon. So just stay tuned for that. I will be announcing if anything changes. But for now, I do have 8x10s, so that's where I'm at, and I have a ton available right now. So I hope that people can support favorites while we're going through this, because some people have been doing pro wrestling as a full-time job, which is very difficult. I can't even imagine paying bills with wrestling back then, because I was depending on my job as a trucking dispatcher and having that stable income, and aside from that, losing my health insurance and everything. So it things are rough for everyone, but yeah, just support your favorites, and you can always contact me and email me for merch if, they're interested.
So with the name change, obviously you change your social media feeds as well, as far as the name and everything. Why don't you go ahead and let people know Twitter, Instagram, Facebook fan page, where can people go check you out?
Absolutely. So people can follow me on Instagram at the Gemma Guliana, and Twitter is at Gemma Guliana. Facebook, you can like my page, Gemma Guliana. I interact with my fans on a daily basis. I do lives, I do Q&As and all that stuff, especially now that we're indoors. So I feel like it's a great time to kind of connect with your fans online. So I would love any feedback, and if anyone wants to reach out to me for some merch or any support, that would be really awesome, and I would really appreciate that.
Well, I definitely like your revamp and everything. I like getting back to the swing of things prior to it, and I look forward to seeing you and everybody in independent wrestling back once things the spread starts to slow down. Are there any wrestlers out there that you are so eager of getting in the ring with once things starts to slow down?
That's a great question. So I had a ton of debuts and everything that were supposed to happen, but unfortunately, due to this whole thing, that's all put on hold. But I mean, I'm just eager to work with anyone. I just want to get out there and show everyone who I am. So it really doesn't matter who, because I'm a total babe, and I'm just going to show you guys who the fuck I am. Excuse me if I'm not allowed to curse, but that's the truth. So
you're good. There's no FCC rave, so you're good. It's just internet radio, so people can get away with that for the most part.
All right.
So you're good. I'll talk to the people later. They ain't gonna be tripping whatsoever. But
sorry about that. I should hold myself back more. Sorry. Sometimes I get carried away. So
it's good. It's all good. with everything that's going on, we need a sign of relief. We need some escape. So anything can is it's all good with me. Um, so obviously, sports world. It ain't just wrestling. It's just sports world. Athletes on the sidelines, and
Everyone.
pretty much everyone. Basketball leagues, baseball, football. Well, actually, just mostly the spring and the summer sports are pretty much on hold. Well, except for WWE and AEW, they are still doing shows without audience. Well, technically AEW, they use their own wrestlers as crowd participation, I guess. Um, and then Impact Wrestling, they about to have their first shows without the audience by next 2 weeks. So with all that being said, you being a wrestler and you seen highlights or whatever, um, I have mixed feelings about it. In my opinion, I appreciate the entertainment. I appreciate everyone trying to give us that relief, giving us that escape. But at the same time, these same performers are putting themselves at risk with this COVID-19. What's your honest thoughts about these shows going on without fans in the audience?
All right, so you want my honest opinion? You're gonna get it.
Yeah, get it.
Hey, I'm gonna bring it to you. So, I think it's cool that they're doing that, but also, it kind of gets hard to watch without the crowd's energy, or just people being there. Like you kind of lose like the focus. Also, the people who are going out there and putting their body at risk, the bumps are going to hurt 10 times more without that adrenaline from the crowd there. So it's sucks for them that they have to go through that. But they love the business and they're doing it for their job. It just sucks. All in all, with no crowd and contractual obligations, it's just a rough spot to be in. So I don't know. It's really a tough topic, but to be deemed essential, but then like every other independent company that's not essential, I mean, it's kind of like a give and take, and the whole thing's just screwy, really. But we just hope that things could get normal so everyone could get out there and do what they love. But it's fun and cool that they get to go out there and do it, but they are putting themselves at risk, so that really sucks. Yeah. And especially with like all the people who got released and all like the cutbacks, yeah. Everything just it's crazy right now. Yeah. Like I don't even know. It's a crazy time for sure.
It's heartbreaking, because usually when you get released, you're finding another job in the next few months. That's not the case with this pandemic with every other company on hold. The Drake Maverick, I seen the Drake Maverick video, and that I lost it when I saw that. I was like, damn. Like, man, Drake Maverick, man, just
that's really kind of breath, right?
Yeah, that just tells you that he loved the sport. He loved it, and it's taken away from him and many others because of circumstances beyond their control. And this comes after XFL filed for bankruptcy. So that was obviously going to be the next move, and more of this is going to happen to these pro companies. Like, they ain't going to be able to pay everybody, and with this pandemic ongoing. So all you can do is hope, for everyone to find their feet and just be with their loved ones during this time. It's heartbreaking.
It's very heartbreaking, and like that's not even being in a wrestling aspect of it. Like that's how I felt when I lost my job, because that was my source of income. So no matter what profession you're in, it's still heartbreaking. No matter what you do, I was happy with my job. I was, I worked hard. So I did pro wrestling and dispatching, but dispatching took a lot of my time and energy, and I put a lot of years and dedication into it. So it's more than just